Hey Tom, how you going?
Hey, Rhys. Good, good. How are you?
Good, thanks, mate. Look, so yeah, we're on this Zoom today, having a little bit of a chat about a new material that we're going to release onto the portal in the near future. This is something that you're really familiar with, and obviously brought to my attention a little while ago. So looking to discuss, yeah, ATPU. With you today. For those who don't know you, Tom, you're obviously director at Pinnacle Sports Podiatry in Sydney, the board director for New South Wales and ACT on SEPA. Um, you've got me down here as saying that you're an all-round good guy. I can definitely vouch for that. But you also run a rapid 2:11 marathon. I don't know if I've missed anything there, but
No,
yeah,
that's good. I'm
you're
glad you got the good guy bit in. Thank you.
the essentials, the essentials.
Yeah.
So yeah, today we're going to be talking about ATPU, which is this very white foam that I'm holding in my hand, that you brought to my attention a little while ago now. Tell us a little bit about ATPU, Tom. Where's it come from?
Yeah, so it's exciting. It's a new foam. ATP, I mean, most people would not have heard of it, I would assume. More people may have heard of the foam PIBA. So PIBA or PBAX is a little bit more common terminology, especially in the running space, because runners that want to run well are buying shoes that are PIBA powered, which is basically the midsole in these shoes is made of a new foam. And ATPU is the mechanical properties of that are very similar to PIBA. So I would say the way they function is very similar. And broadly speaking, like in 2017, um, there was a bit of a shift with the running shoe market with performance models. So Nike brought out a shoe called the Vaporfly, and it incorporated this new foam. And because the new foam, basically the properties of this foam are it's extremely lightweight, it's very soft, and it has really good energy return properties. So far better than any material that was used in running shoes before. And so the fact that it was so light meant that they could put a really thick midsole on these racing shoes, and it wouldn't weigh that much. And so it was just yeah, it was really innovative. So it's been quite a number of years now. We've had all the brands bring out shoes with these incorporating the new foam with carbon plates. Puma as a brand, they're using ATPU in their racing product. I don't know of other brands that are using that specific foam, but yeah, essentially it functions very much like PIBA. Yeah, and so essentially, people that have run in these shoes, that the experience is quite like phenomenal. Really, it's a much different experience to EVA, and as podiatrists, most of us are very familiar with using EVA either as shell or top covers. And so I think this new foam it just makes sense that we should be using it for orthoses as a either potentially at some point as a shell compound for mill devices or potentially printed in the future, but certainly for top covers. So I've been using HCP now maybe for 6 months as a top cover and PIBA, and yeah, it's just yeah, I'm glad you've got it now because I think it's just got really really good utility
Yeah.
as a top cover.
What, I suppose, case studies, what indications are you using it as a top cover for? Everyone,
Um,
or is there specific cases where you're
yeah, pretty much pretty broad. Like it's an athletic population mostly. So, a lot of runners that historically, when I've put an orthotic in their shoes, it has maybe slightly decreased the experience of the running shoe. Like it may actually just dampen or filter out the fun factor of their running shoe, particularly with the new models coming out in the last several years. So if you can put straight away, if you can put an orthotic in there that has an ATPU top cover, um, it's a more lively, soft, bouncy experience for them in the orthoses. So, particularly for runners, I think pretty much every single runner now I'm utilizing, yeah, ATPU
yeah.
and footy boots. I think it's got particularly because the properties of it as well. over, say, a pour-on is a lot of the time I would potentially use a pour-on as like that that good sort of cushioning property, durable cushioning property as part of the top cover. But it's quite it absorbs. So pour-on's heavy. It absorbs a lot of moisture. So
Mm.
basically, it can absorb up to 3 to 4 times its own weight in
Yeah.
water. So
Yeah.
it just absorbs water. So for durability and for performance, because it gets heavy, it delaminates top covers quicker because it absorbs so much water. So this ATPU doesn't absorb any water. It's hydrophobic, hates water.
Yeah.
I think you're not going to get waterlogged orthoses like you would
Mm.
before. And it's just more performance orientated. So,
Yeah.
like compared to EVA, so EVA, the energy return of EVA is about 65%. Depends on the density you use, but say soft to medium sort of density, it's like 65%. Whereas, yeah, this stuff, Pebra ATPU, it's closer to 90%.
Yeah.
So it's returning almost close to so you compress it and it sort of gives
Mm.
back almost all of its
Yeah. Feel.
it's bouncy.
Undoubtedly, I've noticed its benefits in that high moisture environments.
Yeah.
Um, do you think, though, obviously we've seen a shift towards performance shoes with similar foams, and that's led to performance benefits. Do you think there could be potentially performance benefits in using this material in orthoses?
um, yeah, I mean, for sure, the potential is there. The limitation I would say would be the amount you can fit in the shoe.
Mm.
So part of the performance benefit is like I was saying before, with the new racing shoes, you can get really high stacks now. So the midsole acts like a bigger spring because the midsole is so thick. It can then compress and then bounce back. So it's a large spring. So obviously with an orthoses, I think with the ATP you can go anywhere from 3 to 6 mil.
Yeah.
So I mean, generally speaking, potentially if you go up more towards the 5, 6 mil mark, you might start to get actual performance benefits. But yeah, other than that, it certainly helps. I think with like reducing peak plantar pressures, like with footy boots,
Mm.
putting that in there, being a compliant foam, and I think for the same compliance, from my experience the last 6 months, for a given compliance, say for example, it feels as soft as like a Luna Soft, say 190 to 220, probably at least as soft or compliant, but it's more durable than those EVAs. So whereas like classics like the Formthotics, like those low density Formthotics that you put like heaps of footy, like even Swans players are they've been using like Formthotics, and after 2 or 3 games, 2 or 3 weeks, the cushioning is down to like 10% of what it was. It's just like really low density foams. It feels great to begin with, but it
Mm.
loses its compression set, and then it's just rock hard. So the benefit of these is you don't have to be following people up as regularly, because I think that the durability, and a lot of people might be concerned about durability of these new performance foams, but they've been around a while now, and I would say that the durability is at least as good. It would be better than the same density of an EVA.
For sure, for sure. And look, I think with any quality product, there's the expectation that there's durability. And yeah, undoubtedly, in my opinion, I found really good durability. Probably, once again, better durability when combined with an additional material or two. What combinations or formulations of materials are you using it with?
A really nice combo, and it feels amazing. Is the 3 mil ATPU with a 1.5 Spenco over the top. It's really nice. So that normally would sort of match somewhat similar to the standard insole of a running shoe, say 5 to 6 millimeters.
Yeah.
So Cambrol underside, 3 mil ATPU with a 1.5 Spenco on top. If you want a lower friction cover or something even lighter, you could just put, like I've been putting, 2 mil Lunasoft on top of the ATPU. So that's another option as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we flirted with the idea of 1 mil perforated EVA at one stage as well, to go
yeah,
with super thin. Like if you had a
yeah,
really, low volume toe box, you've got the option there, to
yeah,
use
for
the
sure.
3 mil ATPU with a 1 mil perforated EVA, which is obviously perforated materials are good in those high moist environments as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Like footy boots, that could be a really nice one where
Yeah.
you got yeah, concerns with volume and room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Anything else that you can think of that's beneficial for our, podiatrists to know about this material? Um, any other sort of final comments about it?
Um, no, no, not particularly. I think we've covered it. So it's just I would encourage people to just to at least probably try it. Yeah, it's yeah, there's really not many downsides to using it. I think
Yeah.
it's a real upgrade, and there's not really yeah, there's just not a real lot of downside there.
I can't think of any limitations. I mean, from a manufacturer perspective, it's good to work with.
Yeah, that's a good point. So workability with it, it's easy. It's very easy to
Yeah,
work with.
great to
It
grind. Like if you need to
grinds,
grind top
yeah,
covers, yeah,
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 grinds
absolutely.
very easily. The a fun fact is how much of a fun sound it is when you cut it with a pair of scissors. It makes like a crunch, this crunch noise, which no other foam does. It's yeah, it's really nice. Once you start cutting it, it's a bit addictive.
Well, people will definitely have to get some in their hands and they can enjoy the benefits of cutting it, I think, Tom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You'll know what I'm
Fantastic.
talking about once you start cutting it.
That's it. That's it. I'm sure everyone will agree. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Tom. It's been really insightful for me throughout our journey discussing ATPU together, and I look forward to many of our colleagues enjoying its benefits as well.
I hope so. No worries.
Awesome. Thank you very much, mate.
No worries.